Yeah, you've got to feel as though it's, even though Djokovic historically hasn't enjoyed playing in really brutally windy conditions, it will also help Almagro as well. He's got long swings on the ball. It's difficult to connect cleanly with it when it's like this.
When he hit straight back to Djokovic, you sort of felt, oh, the onus is on him now to defend there, but Djokovic obliges him with that mistake. To tread carefully and connect with the ball well enough in these very tricky conditions. He jumped at it as it jumped up off the court, but it's Djokovic who jumps up to match point.
40-30.
Djokovic gets back to winning ways, but it was a very close run thing for Nicolas Almagro. Once again, he finishes up second best to the world number 2. He had his chances, but he couldn't see it through, and Djokovic stuck around, as he tends to do. He's through to round of 16.
Yeah, he stuck around, but, you know, I think also, let's not forget that he perhaps in another week or two will be finishing Almagro off in straight sets, because he certainly had the opportunity to do that in the second set. But it's a good fight, and as I said, I think we might look back on this match down a break in that final set as one of the most significant of the year so far for Djokovic, depending on how things pan out. You can look at it and say, well, his team taken 7-5 in the third against Almagro, but this man has genuine firepower, genuine reason to try and play well here in Madrid, and Djokovic has got past him and has had to play some very good tennis in some pretty tense situations as well there in that final set, and that bodes well for this tournament and for the near future.
So it is his 15th win of 2017. It puts him through to the third round to face either Gilles Simon or Feliciano Lopez. Of course, for the Spanish fans here, once Djokovic takes his leave of the court, then their ultimate hero, Rafael Nadal, will be coming out to face Fabio Fognini. But for Djokovic, well, it's a winning start to this new approach to the sport, with the differences in the team behind the scenes. No coach right now. Maybe a new one sooner rather than later, but he can sign off at least once again in Madrid with the win, the defending champion. Looking to fight another day here.
Well, hopefully somebody can translate that for us.
but the numbers come up like this. Ultimately, winners very similar number. More unforced errors from Almagro though, ultimately, and a lot off both wings from him.
Yeah, he's a slightly uneven attack, isn't he? As you can see, 16 forehand winners to the 13 off the backhand. Novak comes at you, with equality, and so therefore it makes it just a little bit harder to decide where you want to hit your shots. Where's the safe zone out there when you play against Djokovic? It's not very apparent, and I think that is something that's always been difficult about playing him. He might have the greater firepower, Almagro, from the ground to the serve and everything else, but intellectually you feel, and from a desire point of view, Djokovic is going to out-tough him, which is why he's always beaten him on the main tour. When it comes to the main event, he finds a way to produce his best. If you're only as good as your second serve, you're double better than your opponent today.
So Djokovic is through in the end after all that, and he joins up with Nishikori and Ferrer, who are also through today into the round of 16. So I mentioned Nadal, of course, the man who's picked up a couple of big titles recently to add to his collection. He's up next for us.
Rafael Nadal continues his inexorable rise to the top of the game. Oh, that is incredible! The king of clay reigns victorious.
It's a 10th title in Monte Carlo. He is the undisputed greatest tennis player on a clay court of all time.
It's 10 out of 10 for Rafael Nadal in Barcelona.
That title-winning feeling for Nadal again after successes in Monte Carlo and Barcelona. Today he faces Fabio Fognini of Italy. That will be next for us, our next matchup on Sky Sports 1. Meanwhile, another win to report. It went to this man, Thomas Berdych, at match points here against Robin Haase, the Dutchman, who's beaten him on a couple of occasions himself, having also lost a couple of times, but this time it did go Berdych's way. And a straight sets win for the Czech today. And we can now go from there to pop into court 5 and see how things are going between Cuevas and Mahut. And currently it has Mahut up a set, 7-5. Cuevas, though, leading 3-2 with a break in the second set.
Yeah, Mahut enjoying these conditions here in Madrid a little quicker. He's able to serve and volley a bit. He's able to use the slice just to keep himself in rallies, and a flatter ball staying a bit lower as well, not just sitting there for his opponents. So he's becoming difficult to handle. Good win against Jack Sock, and well, many would have had Cuevas down as a hot favourite for this one.
Well, this match is going to carry on via the red button if you want to, but we will keep watching this until we hopefully will get a chance to talk to Novak Djokovic very shortly, so we'll stick with this for the moment. Quaver's such a fine player, really competitive, and of course loves to play on this surface. Never shirks a fight, so looking to fight his way back here. Can he get to a 4-2? There's the answer. 4-2 it is for the Uruguayan. So we'll leave them there for the moment. It continues via the red button, but I'm delighted to say that Novak has joined us here on Sky Sports. Novak, congratulations, eventually getting that win, but another battle for you on clay. How would you assess today?
Well, thank you. Yeah, another battle, another drama. All three matches that I've played on clay this year in Monte Carlo have gone, 6-4 or 7-5 in the third set. So this was no different. Again, I guess I'm supposed to be tested each match, and if there are any positives, obviously out of this match, and that's the mental strength that I've managed to find in the crucial moments, and obviously the wins like this serve a lot, to my psychological aspects and confidence levels as well that are not really high. Obviously this year I've lost many matches, many close, tough matches, so I'm really glad that I managed to overcome this one.
Yeah, I'm sure. There were a couple of familiar faces in your box today, but obviously a number now missing. Was that strange for you, looking across there?
Yes, it was. Obviously it's the first match without my team that was with me for the last 10 years. So, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm already used to it. I'm with the people that were here with me today for a long time already. My brother is there with me for all of my life, so I don't need time to get used to him.
And a lot of talk right now, of course, about where you might go next, coaching-wise. Any truth in reports linking you with Andre Agassi?
I'm not going to say anything about it. Whenever the time comes and whenever I find the right person, I'll let you guys know.
Okay, thank you. We'll look forward to hearing more on that, but we look forward to seeing you in your next match. So Djokovic does get through, and again throwing out the love to the crowd here and enjoying eventually that win. But coming up next will be the King of Clay, of course, in Rafael Nadal, and we can have a quick look back at his most recent triumph in Barcelona.
Amazing! What a reaction volley up at the net off that overhead from Nadal. Tremendous. Calculated and pulls it off so well. Huge hitting. Beautifully judged. After all the heavy artillery, the touch shot to finish. The Austrian trying to find that sharp angle, but Nadal clearly continues to produce this match real quality. Look back at that game and you have to say the first serve was found wanting, and the first set is Nadal's.
That is brilliant. Nadal at his best. Almost there. It's 10 out of 10 for Rafael Nadal in Barcelona. Champion again. What an impressive performance. A week after his triumph in Monte Carlo, he's triumphant here yet again. Peerless on this surface and too good for Dominic Thiem today. Yes, indeed, Rafa showing how it's done on the clay, and all those wins now taking him to the top of the list for the season so far, 29 and counting. You'll hope that Fognini is his 30th victim of 2017 very shortly, but David Goffin there as well, Dominic Thiem, who we saw in that final in Barcelona. Carreño Busta and Ramos Vinolas, they've both slipped away, as has Jock Sock. But do you see the likes of Thiem and perhaps Carreño Busta being amongst those later in the clay court swing who can challenge for the biggest titles, or is it still very much the Nadal show?
Listen, I think the way he's playing at the moment, it certainly looks like that, but obviously a stern test coming up today. But really enjoyed the way that Goffin's been playing as well. I think that's going to be fascinating to watch, just to see how the Belgium can perhaps, make that sort of transformation between being a contender into a champion. I mean, it's not going to be easy for him. He doesn't have huge firepower, but he doesn't lack in that department as well in terms of being able to beat the best players. And that win over Djokovic in Monte Carlo, again, could be pivotal in terms of his career.
So, Nadal and Fognini making their entrance now into the Manolo Santana Stadium here in Madrid. And will this be a special match to savour? Manolo, 79 years young today. Saw him sitting in the stands earlier, and here comes the leading Spaniard of this era now. Indeed, the greatest Spaniard tennis player there's ever been. Santana was a pretty good one, but Rafa, my goodness, what achievements he's made, not just on clay but all around the world. And there aren't many players that are more popular than Nadal. Of course, we'll see how Roger Federer comes back when he does come back, having had his fabulous start to the year. But can this be a fabulous day for Fognini? He has had his moments in the past, of course. He got back-to-back wins over the Spaniard in 2015 on clay, firstly in Rio in the semi-finals there, when he came from a set down to win 7-5 in the decider, and then he beat Rafa again in Barcelona, that round of 16 match that he won in straight sets. They then went to Hamburg. Nadal got him in straights in the final for that. Beyond that, he went to the US Open series, and it was Fognini who came through to win for the first time on a hard court, and did so from 2 sets to love down. But their ultimate contest that year was in Beijing, and it was Nadal who emerged victorious. And since then, 2 more meetings have both gone Rafa's way, and both in straight sets. The most recent was in Miami this year, a semi-final clash after Fognini had had his excellent run to that stage. And although he was outplayed in the first set, he made it a much closer battle in the second. But Nadal in such fine fettle now, and of course it's such a key moment coming back onto this surface. He hadn't got a title until he won in Monte Carlo this year, and then backed it up with the brilliant run in Barcelona. He will clearly be a favourite today, and a windy day as we've seen, and there aren't many better in these conditions, Mark, than him.
No, generally he's always played very well in these kind of conditions. Get the ball up high, the ball coming in pretty fast to Fognini, but yeah, we've seen some improvements. Added an extra little bit of pace on his serve. It looks like it'll be interesting to do the comparison in this match as it develops compared to last year. And the accuracy on the forehand down the line has been spectacular.
Okay, señores, mismas condiciones de siempre. Hoy tenemos sensor por la net. Si me quieren que chequee una marca, por favor, paren el punto y ahí chequeamos. Ok, hay cambios de lado de televisión y 25 segundos entre puntos. ¿Alguna pregunta? ¿No? Van a aparecer los ganadores ahí, Fabio. recibir.
So Fabio's won that.
Buen partido.
I'm amazed that there's no advertising on that coin toss, Jeff. I mean, it'll come. It feels like just such a no-brainer. I mean, we've got billboards everywhere, and there's like every single person's eye in the stadium and on telly is looking at it, and it's like, is that it? Is a gold coin?
So we'll let the two get underway with their warm-up, and while they do that, a chance for us to look back at a pre-tournament interview that Rafa gave to Paul King.
It's a 10th title in Monte Carlo. He is the undisputed greatest tennis player on a clay court of all time.
It's 10 out of 10 for Rafael Nadal in Barcelona.
Great way to start the clay court season, and yeah, it was important for me after having a great start of the season, losing a few finals, so start the clay court with 2 titles now, something that really was very special for me, and especially to complete the number 10 in Monte Carlo and Barcelona have been so special, unique. I think it was a great decision having Carlos, Francis, Antonio on the team together. I think is a big help, and they are working together in a very good way, very positive way, and I feel very comfortable now. Carlos came with good motivation, bringing some important new things on the practices, and I am very happy with him. I have been playing well from the beginning of the season on hard courts, and normally when I am playing well on hard, if I am able to maintain the level on clay, then my game adapts better, a little bit better to the clay. The support of the crowd here is probably higher than in no one other place, and I really enjoy playing here. It's great feelings, and tournament is fantastic. It's in every day, every year is better and better, and I'm very excited to play here in front of my people again.
So the words of Rafael Nadal pre-tournament. Interesting him saying there, of course, now obviously he loves playing in front of Spanish fans. He likes Madrid as a city, but initially I don't think he was always that keen on playing here at altitude, but certainly now the successes he has had